And then 10 days later, when somebody said, aren't you taking Scarlett to dinner at Nobu? Owen went, you own that place, don't you? And I'm like, oh my God.
We've all said in here the last 3-4 days, we've seen you make really good friendships in there, and we know what you're like, that you love having a close group of mates. And the more you became pally with us, especially I thought Owen, Mike and Jill, you look so much like happier in there. Owen's an absolute diamond, but we do need to talk about this, Chris.
Chris is so funny. He has us in stitches every single day.
Chris is hilarious. He's a top bloke.
Okay, lots of love for you being very, very funny, but this is what made us laugh a lot at home.
You know what, you've got some pace when you run to them squares.
I was Commonwealth 400-metre sprint champion when I was 21. But I had to give up the athletics because the dancing was just taking over my life.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Does Owen still think that you're a world dance champion and a 400-metre sprint champion?
I genuinely think he does think I'm a dance champion. And also as well, and I don't know if this came out in the show, but somebody else started this. He for about 10 days he thought I owned the restaurant chain Nobu.
I heard you say this in the interview last night.
That didn't go out on the show, but
we didn't see it on TV. Sadly.
That's amazing.
To the point where, so somebody had said it. We were talking about going for dinner, and Scarlett joked, "Oh, you can take me for dinner in Nobu," because we're all talking about meeting up. We're all going to go to Jill's coffee shop. We're going to go for a curry. We're going to meet up with Mike and all this stuff. Scarlett said, "Oh, Chris, you can take me to Nobu. I've never been." And then I think it was Scarlett or somebody said, or Charlene, it might have been, said, "Do you still own that?" And she kind of looked at me with a glint in her eye, and I went, I'm one of the shareholders, yeah. And Owen didn't say anything. And then 10 days later, when somebody said, aren't you taking Scarlett to dinner at Nobu? Owen went, you own that place, don't you? And I'm like, oh my God. It does go in with Owen sometimes. It does go in.
Yeah. He's adorable.
He really is, yeah.
He's great. So I heard you say last night that you'd like Owen to win it, would you?
I'd love Jill to win because I think she has no idea how funny she is, how lovely she is. She's so quick and so funny. And we talked about meeting up to watch one of the England games, and then, because obviously with the time that they're on, and then go for a curry. Yeah. And Babatunde's up for that, Owen's up for that, if Mike's available, he's up for it. And Jill said, oh yeah, count me in. And I'm like, Jill, if you are not hired to do punditry on an England game the moment you get out, then there's something wrong with the world. Absolutely. Because so funny and so sharp, and she has no idea. And so for that reason, I would love her to be Queen of the Jungle. And there have been certainly way more many kings of the jungle than queens. But if it was a king of the jungle, then yeah, I'd want Owen to win it because I think he'd be flabbergasted and it would mean a lot to him. And I also think Mike Tyndall is not really fussed either way.
Radio. The Chris Moyles Show.